Welcome to our everyday energy efficient townhouse transformation. Our townhouse is in Fitzroy North in Melbourne's inner north. We acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to their elders past and present. We hope this video provides ideas and inspiration for those looking to reduce the impact of their home on the climate while making it more comfortable. We hope to show that even smaller existing homes can make a difference. Our home is a two-storey, three-bedroom townhouse built in the early 2000s. Bedrooms are on the ground floor and the open living spaces are upstairs where it's light and airy. The east-west orientation means we get direct morning and afternoon sun. The lower level is fed natural light through an internal light well. We moved in early 2022. The rake ceiling had a minimal layer of insulation, pockmarked with holes for countless downlights. An aged shade cloth on the west balcony wasn't effective later in the afternoon. The wooden frame single glazing was starting to rot, and apart from the doors, natural ventilation was through winding windows. A few hot days that summer turned upstairs into an oven. We needed a plan. We found an architect through the My Electric Home Facebook group who came and evaluated our home for thermal efficiency. She identified the problem areas and helped us prioritise the changes which would give us the biggest improvements earlier. The architect's advice, along with our own research and financial situation, led us to the following list: draught-proofing the existing doors and windows, installing rooftop solar PV to reduce our electricity bills, fixing the ceiling insulation, better exterior shading, thermally efficient glazing, thermal separation using curtains, before moving to remove our gas appliances by installing a heat pump hot water and replacing our gas stove with an induction cooktop. Draft-proofing was the easy no-brainer improvement that we could make ourselves. We used efficiency door and window sill on the existing frames and added or replaced raven door sills on all the exterior doors. Gap filler rod also came in handy. Next, we installed as much solar as possible on our limited roof space to allow for hot water and EV charging in the future. Let's go upstairs to the roof. So here we are up on my roof, and here's the solar panels that we got installed in 2022. As you can see, there's 19 of them. We have a light well there in the middle, which we had to avoid. And you can see there's sort of two banks, and we're on a slanted roof. It's sort of a warehousey type of pitched roof, and so that created a bit of a problem. And what we find is those front panels in winter will block the back panels to some degree, so we see a bigger drop off in power outage, but in summer it's just fine. So underneath you can see we use in microinverters. That's what this little baby is here, and each one of those panels, as you can see along the row, has a microinverter, and that means we're using AC power directly. We don't have to have an inverter on the front of the house or the back of the house, which we just didn't have room for. If you're interested in the panel type that we're using here, they're 425 watt ones, and they all work quite well. Another challenge we had with the townhouse was the location of getting electrics from the solar panels down. So you'll see here that we've had to put our electrics down through a cavity that goes straight down to the front door where the switchboard is. So it's been a clean job. There was a bit of a challenge for the solar installer, but that was why it was important for our solar installer to come and have a look before they quoted. When it came to thermal efficiency, we discovered the ceiling insulation was thin, and moreover it was significantly compromised by the holes cut around the recessed downlights. The solution was to plug the holes and add another layer of insulation sandwiched by a new lower ceiling. All the recessed downlights were replaced with surface-mounted lighting. Ceiling fans were also installed to provide a very energy-efficient alternative to using the air conditioning. Exterior shading was going to be important for achieving thermal efficiency due to the east-west aspect of our biggest windows. On the west, we opted for vertical shades as the balcony space was smaller, and we found the previous shade cloth was ineffective at blocking the sun at low to middle angles. To the east, we had opted for a retractable awning because we wanted to be able to use the bigger balcony space while also shading the house. It stays retracted during winter to allow the morning sun to warm up the living area. One of the last projects was replacing the wooden single glazed windows and doors with UPVC frames and double glazing. Let me tell you something about the double glazed windows that we have. So they're made out of UPVC frames. So you'll see here that they're plastic basically, and that helps with the insulation and the heat separation. If we come down here, you'll see on the inside, they've got seals, they're quite wide, and the best thing about them are their doors. So you've got the tilt and turn, right? So if I turn it this way, it tilts out. This is quite common in Europe, apparently. So that lets some airflow in. It's good if it's a slightly rainy day. And then you can tilt it upwards and it comes out, in this case, like a door. But if it was a window, we've also got French doors here, and they just close. They come all the way out. They close like so. The latest thing we've done is to install some curtains around the stairwell. Hopefully this will help us keep the heat from fan and panel heaters downstairs in winter. Once we'd insulated and double glazed, we looked to replace our gas instant hot water and gas cooktop with electric versions. The instant gas hot water was previously on the wall of the light well, so the easiest and cheapest approach was to install a highly efficient heat pump hot water system in the courtyard of our light well. We haven't worked out yet how to hide everything, but I'm sure we can think of something. We chose a reclaim hot water system so that we could better use the excess solar power we were unable to export to the grid. It's also quiet, which is an important factor being located next to the bedrooms. We also replaced our gas cooktop with an induction hot plate. We chose a smaller system and filled the gap with a wooden chopping board. The slim profile also gives us more bench space when it's not in use. Finally, we were able to get our gas connection removed. Here's what we've learned over the 2.5 years of our transformation. Know clearly what you want to do, then prioritize it, do as much research as possible, make sure you're in with your budget, and know your lead times. Best of luck with your own transformations.